For a whole week?
It lasted more than a week, I think.
So you remember then all the segregated counters and whites only
Oh, yes, when we moved to
and...
Detroit, in Erie, it wasn't segregated. But in Detroit, when I got on the streetcar to go downtown, the blacks had to go to the back of the car, and I hadn't seen that in Erie, though. But it wasn't long after that people got more friendly with one another.
Mm-hmm. But there was never any segregation really in Erie when you were growing up?
No, not too much of it.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. But in Detroit, it lasted quite a long time.
Do you have memories of going to the lake and swimming when you were a child?
Yes, there's no lake where... Oh, we used to go walk. We lived right across the street from the soldiers' home, and we'd walk through the grounds down toward the pier. And I think there's a sanitation plant down there now.
Yeah, there is. Wastewater treatment.
Yeah, well, we used to be able to walk down to the pier, and on the south side of the pier, there's a long beach. And it was beautiful. It was shallow water there, and we could paddle around. And we were only about 5, 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And it was really clean water. And then years later, when we came back to Erie from Buffalo and Detroit, went down to the soldiers' home and went down there, and it was about a foot of scum on top of that water where we used to swim. Ugly, gray, orange from the hammer mill,
The Coke
GE,
factory.
all those.
Yeah. It's not that dirty anymore.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know what else there is.
Well, you want to tell me more about raising your children?
I never thought that I would have so many high graduate scholars in my family. With two
You didn't finish high school, did you?
No, my father made me quit at 16 to go to work.
Is that when you started working at the orphanage then, or?
No, I worked for a woman that, well, for this family, they had a little boy, and she wanted me to babysit, but I stayed there. And I got $2 a week.
And then you gave that money to your family, too?
Yes.
Did you have any money?
And then they had to let me go because they couldn't afford to pay the $2. He was a college graduate, but he ended up being a milkman, and he wasn't making much money, and so I had to leave there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd also like to tell you what I've learned from you and what you mean to me. Mostly when I think about you, I think about endurance and just all of the things that you have lived through and raising so many children. And, to me, you haven't changed since I was a kid. You're still the same in terms of what you do and the way you act and just how you've endured so much. I guess it gives me hope that I'll be able to survive the things I have to go through since I don't have 7 kids, so it should be a little easier.
But Carl is a PhD. Karen's a PhD. David should have had his PhD, but he never defended his thesis. Debbie's a master's. Your mother's a master's. Stephen and Colette didn't have the desire to go on. but they made good lives for themselves. I'm proud of them.
You should be.
I'm proud of Colette for what she's endured and her strong will that she had to have to overcome.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for coming down here today. I know when I asked you to, you didn't really want to.
I still don't know what it's all about.
Okay, well, thanks for coming down. I love you.
I love you too. All of them. All of you. So proud of you all.
Thanks. We're proud of you.
Thank you.